Every single piece of tech you've ever used, your phone, your favorite app, all of it was born onto a battlefield. It's this crazy landscape of competing ideas, hidden threats, and these big strategic moves that decide who wins and, well, who gets left behind.
So that's the big question, right? How does a truly brilliant new idea actually make it through all that? Because it's not just about having a great invention. It's about knowing how to fight for it. It really is a game of survival.
And today, we're going deep inside that fight. We've actually gotten our hands on what is basically a secret intelligence report, a strategic map for this whole tech battlefield. And we're going to decode it together to see how the game is really played.
Okay, so our case study is a company, let's call them Go Hard Unlimited, and they are developing some really incredible new 3D video conferencing tech named Harmony. What we're looking at is their latest intelligence brief, which is designed to scout out the entire competitive landscape. This whole document is what's known as a prior art intelligence report. Its entire job is to scan everything, and I mean everything out there. Patents, academic papers, open source projects, you name it. It's looking for anything that could possibly threaten their new invention before it even gets off the ground. Seriously, think of it like military reconnaissance, but for tech.
All right, so any good field report starts with that high-level briefing, right? It's the quick snapshot of the situation on the ground. It gives you the big picture before you dive into all the little details. First up, risk. The report assesses it as moderate. So why only moderate? Well, it's because in the last couple of weeks, no new direct competitors have just popped up on the radar. So for now, the coast seems, well, relatively clear.
But here's the other side of that coin. Opportunity is rated as growing. The whole tech world is buzzing about the exact kind of technologies Harmony is built on, things like WebXR and WebGPU. And that means the world is kind of getting ready for what they're about to offer, which creates this perfect opening for them to make a big move.
So with that big picture established, the report starts to zoom in. It's time to go from scanning the horizon to getting boots on the ground and identifying the specific threats. The red flags that are hiding right there in plain sight.
The analysts have sifted through tons and tons of data, and they've flagged 9 key items. Now, most of these, they're just background noise. Interesting, yeah, but not a direct danger. It's all about separating that crucial signal from all the static.
So for example, let's take item number 2. It's a community portal for WebGPU. The report says it's an important ecosystem signal, but it's too generic. It's not focused on the specific, nitty-gritty 3D tech that makes Harmony so special. So yeah, it's something to keep an eye on, but it's not a direct threat.
But then you find the items that are a direct threat to the entire mission. These are the landmines you absolutely positively have to know are there. And here is where it gets really interesting. Okay, so on the left you see Harmony's core idea. Pretty straightforward. But on the right, a 2024 research paper from Disney. Now, while Disney's tech is for making movies offline, the report specifically says it overlaps conceptually with Harmony's real-time system. This is a massive find. A huge player has already been exploring very similar territory.
So here it is, the full threat landscape. That Disney paper is a major blinking red flag, but you've also got these soft red flags like an open source project on GitHub for eye-tracked rendering and even a student's project on YouTube showing off real-time 3D video. Altogether, these bits and pieces of prior art create these invisible walls that Harmony's strategy now has to figure out how to navigate.
So, knowing the threats is one thing, but what do you actually do about them? This is where intelligence turns into action. This is the counterattack.
Their strategy is broken down into 3 parts. First, you've got offense. They're going to patent their truly unique ideas, like a feature for something called gaze contingent privacy masking. Then there's defense. They proactively publish technical details about their work. Why? Because that puts it in the public domain, and it blocks competitors from trying to patent it themselves. And finally, number 3, surveillance. Just continuously monitoring the battlefield.
And that surveillance is incredibly specific. Based on those red flags we saw, Go Hard Unlimited is now actively tracking any new browser APIs for gaze tracking, any patents that might spin out of that Disney research, and any updates to related open source projects. They're watching every single move their potential rivals might make. And this brings us to the really big takeaway. This whole report, it's not a one-time thing. It's just a single snapshot in a never-ending game of chess.
This entire cycle, the recon, the analysis, the action, it's happening all the time, constantly, behind the scenes, for almost every single piece of tech you can think of. Innovation isn't just some sudden spark of genius. No, it's a sustained, strategic campaign that's fought in research papers, in patent offices, and in lines of code.
So, the next time you use your phone or you log into some new app, just think about this for a second. What invisible battles were fought to bring that technology to you? What secret wars are being waged right now over the tech that's sitting in your pocket?